Okay, Cammie's in the kitchen. I'm going to turn it over to you because I can't wait to try what you made here.
Well, it's fall. It's football season, which means it's also pumpkin season, which I'm glad you're here instead of Tom, because Tom gives me a hard time about the pumpkin.
He just gets all the pumpkin spice he can stand, and a lot of us do.
He's done.
But I'm up for it.
Okay, well, we're making a pumpkin cake. So the first thing you need to do is turn your oven on 350 and get one of those bundt pans just to make it prettier, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Grease it, put some flour in it, shake that around, dump out the excess, and then you're gonna have a couple of mixing bowls. So I'm gonna have you do some dry ingredients over here.
Okay.
The first thing you need is 2 cups of sifted flour. Now, I don't sift it, but I definitely don't pack it down. I'll get that for you. And while I'm getting that,
you want this in this bowl?
Yeah.
Okay, you're coming that way.
Well, go ahead and put in 2 teaspoons of baking soda.
Okay.
Should have brought another spoon to kind of scoop this up.
Baking soda.
So, well,
don't mix up your soda and your powder. I almost got the wrong
but
thing.
actually we need both, just different amounts of it.
Okay, 2 of soda.
2 of baking soda. Okay, and then while you're thinking baking, go ahead and do 1 teaspoon of baking powder.
Okay.
I'm doing a little less than the cup because I know that that's not sifted. It's kind of packed down a little bit.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Okay. And then we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Of course, anything pumpkin, you need cinnamon in too, right?
You do indeed.
And a little bit of salt. So we're gonna do 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt, which I will just let you do
My
that.
dad used to always say, salt makes things sweeter, and I thought he was nuts.
Yeah.
Until I realized and started baking and cooking more myself, and it's like it does bring out
It
the
brings the
savory,
flavor out.
but it brings the sweetness out too.
Now, I have an old college roommate that loves salt, and she just thought, well, the more the better. So she put a ton in chocolate chip cookies one time. It doesn't work like that.
Not as
you just
much,
need what it calls for.
So how much of this?
A 1/2 teaspoon.
1/2.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So then, in this bowl right here, I already have 4 eggs that I've cracked and put in here, and I'm going to add 2 cups. Can you see that? 2 cups of sugar to that. And then here's where I had to correct you when you called it a healthful recipe. Besides
Forget
the 2 cups
thing,
of sugar, is that it calls for a cup of oil, but you know what? It's kind of holiday season.
It is holiday season. I mean, you're not going to
what do you expect? Now, you could do any kind of oil. It calls for, vegetable, have canola. You could do coconut oil. That would help it a little bit, right?
You could. I've never baked, I don't believe, with coconut oil. I know a lot of people do, but I just never have.
So I would take my mixer. I would put this in the mixer, all the wet ingredients, kind of get that going, and then you would add the dry ingredients to it. And then you don't want to leave out 1 16-ounce can of pumpkin.
Okay, I was going to say, when and where do you add pumpkin?
Right, very last.
A lot of times they'll say fold that in a little bit slowly, just a little bit of time to your wet ingredients. And then a lot of times cakes, you don't overmix the batter.
You don't have to, but this one's just really kind of easy. We have a finished product over here because that's the magic of television, right?
Look at the finished product. There it is right there.
Yep. Now you can ice it. It'd be really good with like a cream cheese icing.
Wouldn't it though?
Or I brought this little canister of powdered sugar. So if you want to dump some powdered sugar on there and kind of make it
that's nice.
That's all you really need. It's a very moist cake, so it's not like it really needs the icing.
Look at that. It's
and there you go, pumpkin cake.
I think I'm going to cook.
'Tis the season for pumpkin cake.
A piece.
Oh, here's a plate.
Perfect. Thank you.
So, of course, you're going to have to add some more powdered sugar there.
Add a little bit more.
Make it pretty.
Is what you're saying?
It's all about presentation, right?
I think this is incredible. It's the perfect season for it, and I love pumpkin. I like pumpkin soup and pumpkin.